Welcome to the Univerge Business Connect Reports training course. The reporting capability enables an organization to analyze the performance of their contact center. Based on the results of a report analysis, you can find ways to improve the performance of your contact center. Performance improvements can be derived through increased efficiency, productivity, agent availability, optimal use of existing resources, and overall agent satisfaction. These improvements can contribute to the company profits by increasing customer satisfaction and retention, increasing sales, and lowering operating expenses. Reports can be used to answer a variety of questions that affect overall business decisions. For example, knowing the busiest hours during the day can aid in scheduling agent coverage, including breaks and lunch. The reports to use in an analysis are router analysis and router performance by hour. Knowing the busiest days during the week can aid in scheduling department meetings, training, new assignments, as well as agent coverage. The report to use is router performance by weekday. The results of analyzing an increase in abandoned calls or customer complaints during busy hours could be used to document a need to hire more agents or adjust work and break schedules. The reports to use are router abandoned calls and router abandoned calls lists. The results of an analysis of the number of times callers encounter negative situations like queue full, timeout, and no agent could indicate a need to hire more agents or adjust work and break schedules. The report to use is router analysis. The results of an analysis of agent performance could indicate a need for more agent training and identify poor work habits, a drop in morale, or too much socializing with customers or other agents. The reports to use are agent analysis, agent handled calls, agent not ready reasons, and agent performance. Reports trigger a response to take corrective action, implement initiatives, or reward good performance. Where do you find the reports and how do you create one? Reports are part of the Supervisor Dashboard application. Clicking on the Reports icon opens the Report Explorer and a new pane listing any reports that may have already been defined. By clicking on the New Document icon, a new report can be created from the drop-down menu. The Report Wizard walks you through the appropriate entries based on the report selected. We'll start with the Agent Analysis report since it's the first on the list, or you can select a report type from the pull-down menu. Then enter a valid name for the report. If this report is to be used as a template for future reports, the name could be more generic, like Agent Analysis Last Week. The Report Wizard will automatically step through each of the appropriate categories in the left-hand margin. The report fields are the values or columns of data that can be included in this report. Some reports begin with a set of default fields already populated in the Selected Values window on the right. The available values in the window on the left are the points that can be included in the report and differ from report to report. To add them to a report, highlight the individual items and move them to the Selected Values window with a single arrow, or select them all by clicking the double arrows. Removing selected values can be done one at a time or all at once as well. Display options available are based on the type of report being created and can include graphs, summaries, details, legends, and outgoing call time limits. The outgoing call time limit is used to filter out calls shorter than the time entered. Under Report Period, select the period of time to be covered in the report. Choose from 4 relative values: today, yesterday, last week, or last month. The values are relative to the day on which the report is run. Or select Period to specify a date range for the report. To complete the selection, enter the office hours, all day, or a specific interval for the report. If no selections are made, the report will be generated on the default values today for the hours between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. The report displays data grouped by time segments or aggregation. The smallest period is 15 minutes, and the longest is 1 month. For example, when the time segment hour is selected, all calls or events are listed in the report in slices of an hour. The default is 15 minutes. The groups to be included in the report appear in the Group Selection window. Move the available values in the left window into the Selected Values window on the right by using the arrows. Only the groups each supervisor has access to will be available for their selection. Use the lower arrows to remove a group from the selected values windows. The agent selection window is used to select the agents to be included in the report. Move the available agents from the window on the left to the selected window on the right with the arrows as before. Use the lower arrows to remove selected agents one at a time or all at once to start over. The Schedule Selection window allows a report to be run immediately or be scheduled to run at a later time. A report can be scheduled every hour, day, week, month, or only once. By leaving this option at the default No Schedule, the report will run immediately. Looking at the graph in the final report, the intervals appear too granular. A change is needed. This doesn't pose a problem because modifying an existing report is as easy as creating a new report. To modify a report, select Edit in the upper right-hand corner of the report viewing screen. This opens the report wizard to the Modify Report screen. Now enter the name of the report to be modified. The same options that were available when creating the report are available for modification. And as before, entries can be added or removed from the Selected Values window by using the arrows. Modify the available display options by checking or unchecking the selections. The option to modify the report period and time is offered. For example, change from a relative time period like last month to a specific period, or change the office hours. The granularity or intervals of the reported information is changed on the aggregation screen. Let's see how the graph changes by selecting month instead of 15 minutes. Additional groups can be selected for inclusion in the modified report, or existing groups can be removed. The available values are selected by using the upper arrows. Selected values can be removed by using the lower arrows. Use Agent Selection to select or unselect the agents to be included in the modified report. Add agents from the window on the left to the selected window on the right with the arrows as before, or use the lower arrows to remove agents from the report. This report is going to be used at a board meeting, so I'll schedule it to run only once on a specific date and time. The last entry before a scheduled report is ready to run is the format and output to be used. The available formats are PDF, Excel, or Word, and the output can be either email or printer. A report sent as email is saved as a file in the desired format and can be sent to one person or multiple people. Here are the results of the Modified Agent Analysis Report. The Agent Analysis Report displays agent information as a summary as well as detailed by time segment in both graph and text formats. This agent report includes key agent metrics, such as the total number of calls offered, the number of calls answered, the number of non-contact center calls received, the number of hours spent in ready and not ready modes, and the time spent on outgoing calls. These statistics may be used by a supervisor to measure agent attention and availability. The Agent Analysis Summary page provides a good overview of agent activity. The additional pages in the report contain the breakdown per agent for each time segment. The Report Details pane is opened from the Report Explorer window to review the configuration of a report without having to run it. This is useful when verifying the option selections for a schedule report or report template. The Report Details pane shows the name of the report, the type of report selected, the parameter, the data fields to be reported on, time period, time segments, and schedule, if any. Additional parameters may be available for selection based on the report type chosen. Let's review each of the additional reports. For consistency and ease of comparison, all of the reports have been run for the same time period as the Agent Analysis Report in the previous section. The Agent Call Types report displays the number of times agents selected a call type item to classify a call they handled. The use of call types is optional. The summary page can be displayed in both graph and text. The call type lists the item name, and the frequency is the number of times agents selected each call type item. Additional pages provide a breakdown of the call type selected by the individual agents included in the report. The Agent Email Performance Report provides information on the number of emails received by the agents. Available in both graph and text formats, A supervisor can use this report to determine the average time it takes an agent to reply to an email, as well as find and reroute emails that may have gone unanswered. The email module is optional. The agent-handled call summary report provides the total number of routed calls handled by each agent, the response time, the call duration, and the after-call work time. The summary page lists totals for each agent that a supervisor can use to compare individual performance to that of others in the group. These comparisons can be used to pinpoint the need for additional training or to reward excellence. The agent information in the details report lists the activity for each agent by router to assist in the analysis of individual performance. The Agent Not Ready Reasons report lists the number of times agents switched to specific reasons that made them unavailable to answer or routed calls. Not ready reasons can be defined to include other activities like attendance at department meetings, mandatory training, or other assignments. The summary page displays the not ready reason items, the number of times each item was entered, and the total time spent by all agents in each. On the subsequent pages of this report, the not ready reason totals are broken down and listed by agent. One use for this breakdown could be to assess compliance with company policy regarding breaks and time spent away from their desks. The agent performance report takes the total of all call handling information for each agent during the reporting period and displays them as a summary measurement by agent. The output can be displayed in graph and text. This report can be used to review each agent's activity for a day, week, month, or even year from the first time they log in. An analysis of this information can be used to gauge an agent's contribution to the overall performance of the group, measure individual improvements, or as a guide during an annual review. Application prompts are used to customize contact center announcements. The Application Prompts report lists all available application prompts created by the administrator. The Email Services report shows all inbound email activity for the contact center. The report can be run per email account created in the optional email module in graph and text formats. Besides knowing the total number of emails received by each mailbox, seeing that emails are not being answered within a specified time frame and the average time it takes for an email to be answered could indicate a need for further investigation. More useful as a technician's testing and troubleshooting tool, the event log provides the date and time an event occurs and a short explanation of the event. The identification module can be used to store customer information that is displayed on an agent's desktop when a call is received from a member, even before the call is answered. The Identification Groups report provides the group name, calling party name, and a tally count of the number of calls made into the contact center by each customer in the database. This report can be very useful in tracking customer calling patterns or rewarding customer loyalty. The message box gives callers the opportunity to leave a message instead of waiting in queue or for calls received after hours and on holidays. Besides knowing the number of messages left, the message box resources report is a way to make sure that messages have been read. Outbound services are used by the system for messages and callbacks left by callers as well as custom campaigns. The Outbound Services Analysis Report enables a supervisor to quickly view the results. More detailed information can be provided for each outbound service by time segments when selected during report creation. Here the time segments are divided into months. The Outbound Services Report provides a % completion summary on the outbound services run during the report period. This is a useful management tool when comparing the call completion results to the intended goal. The Router Abandoned Calls list provides a list of all abandoned calls for all routers in the contact center. For each call, the result or reason that prevented a call from reaching its original destination is listed. The Router Abandoned Calls report provides a summary of calls that abandoned after a specific time had elapsed. For example, at 2 seconds, 2 callers hung up before being answered, and 3 calls were rerouted because of a queue full condition. Further investigation could reveal that too few agents were available to handle the influx of calls. The router analysis report focuses on router performance. The summary page provides an overview of each router that can help the supervisor spot problem areas within the contact center. For example, the customer service router handled 767 calls during the report period, of which only 410 were answered within defined parameters. Of the remaining calls, 246 were abandoned, 37 encountered a no-agent condition, and 23 encountered a queue full condition. Further investigation is needed to reveal what changes are required to lower these numbers. The router analysis also provides more details. The totals by time segment are listed for each router. The Router Answered Calls List report provides a list of answered routed calls within the report period. By reviewing the start date and time, the router date and time, the calling line identification of the calling party, and call duration of each call, supervisors can find unusual customer calling patterns or track test calls placed to individual routers as shown here. The Router Performance Analysis Report provides information on performance metrics for one or more routers displayed in both graph and text formats. The summary page provides an analysis of the total calls offered to each router, the total calls answered, and the average service level achieved for the report period. The Router Performance Analysis Report takes the information displayed in the summary and breaks it down by router into the specified time segments to make it easier to analyze the data and spot areas that may need improvement. The Starter Analysis Report, available in graph and text formats, provides a summary of the activity for all starters selected. Starters, similar to pilot numbers, begin a call flow and are listed by name. There is a destination or action assigned to every starter. For example, should a caller dial an incorrect or undefined number, the call will end up in a default action. That default action could be a prompt, a message box, or an extension. A breakdown of activities is provided for each of the starters in the detail pages of the Starter Analysis Report. Covering the starter, transfer, router, attendant, and end call modules, the summary report provides a good overview of call activity that can be used by supervisors and managers to gauge the overall health of the contact center. This is the Starter Summary Report providing a quick view of offered calls, call flow, and abandons during the report period. The Transfer Summary displays the results of calls that were transferred, grouped by destination number. Transfers are used when all agents from a router are not ready or logged off to route a call to an alternate answering position, like a message box, internal extension, or external number. The Router Summary displays both the overall totals for all routers and a breakdown for each router selected during the report period. The Attendant Summary displays the number of times callers selected each menu item in a configured auto attendant module. No data will appear if auto attendants are not defined or the supervisor's privilege does not include access to attendants. The End Call Summary displays the total number of calls that were disconnected by end call modules during the report period. An end call module is used to hang up on a caller without speaking to an agent. For example, when a call is received after hours. Let's review how easy it is to delete a report after it's been created. To delete a report when it is no longer needed, select Report Explorer, right-click on the report item, and choose Delete from the menu. We've covered the information provided by the individual reports. Now let's summarize how each can be used to assist in managing a contact center. Not every report has to be generated daily. The type and frequency of the reports that are run depend on what values you place on specific performance indicators. For example, if response time, call duration, and service level are important to your company, you would be very interested in the results of the router performance analysis. The summary, starter analysis, application prompts, identification group, and message box resource reports can be used to measure the overall health of a contact center. The outbound services reports are used to evaluate the success of callbacks and outbound campaigns, while router answered and abandoned calls lists, call tracking, and event logs are used to troubleshoot specific incidents. If you would like more information or wish to see a full in-depth demonstration of this solution, contact your NEC representative or send us an email at necfocus@necam.com. We would be happy to schedule a live session and answer any of your questions. Thank you.